So honestly, I wish I could say welcome back to the studio. But the reality is I haven't left. I've been in the studio since up until 2 a.m. this morning, went to bed for 3 hours, back for wisdom at 5 a.m. this morning, and then just doing product showcases and features. So we've launched our new, I won't say agentic model, our new technology, Swarm, that is now native with AJ. Now, if you have no idea what Swarm is or what AJ is, check the videos. Just check the videos. It is the coolest thing for any business wanting to adopt automation systems, AI into their businesses right now. We've got two separate videos. I think AJ's introduction was quite long. And then from AJ's introduction, we answered a couple of Q&As on our marketing automation with AJ. And then obviously I did a 17-minute video just on Swarm, which is a new agent plugin for AJ. So it's very cool. Go and check that out. But this video is just to touch base on a couple of things. So the other day, I did a marketing video based on a question that we received on AJ when we did AJ, right? So the question was from Ricky and it read as follows. You can read on the screen. It will be interesting to see a few workflows, marketing, how a marketing strategy is drawn up based off the feedback from previous strategies. Ricky asked to see operations and how AJ handles our entire customer journey through meeting to post meeting to everything in between. And then thirdly, Ricky asked for finances, and it reads as follows, because that's the purpose of this video, is maybe how AJ analyzes 12 months income statements for you and makes recommendations with dummy data, of course. Now, once again, in the initial video that answered the marketing question, I had a long intro of going through all three questions and explaining how I would answer each of them. But I'm not going to recap on that. If you missed that, go check out the video. But one thing that I do want to say is that I did mention there is I'll answer all three separately. So I already have a video up for number one. Number two, I'm waiting for an actual meeting with a client that gives me consent to run everything publicly so you can see the journey. So I'll record that as I go. But I actually want to do number three today. I want to do number three just now live with you for the first time. Because I'm also not curious to see, I've been working with it for quite some time, but curious to show you guys, or excited to show you guys, how fast AJ moves when it comes to financial statements. Now, Ricky, thank you for asking for that I'm allowed to use dummy data, but I won't. I won't use dummy data. I think dummy data has got a lot of limitations of what it can read, and the setup is way too long because then I need to go and actually compile dummy data for AJ to analyze. And AJ is actually live on our entire systems. Our entire automation runs live. So it's actually harder work for me to implement dummy data versus just showing you the features thereof. Now, I did explain AJ is not a plug and play for every company. It's really designed around each company. And that's what we build for companies. So a lot of these features might look cool for you to an extent. A lot of them might sound strange, or might sound completely disengaged or foreign to you in your company. And that's the beauty about building all these automations and processes for each company is your product looks completely unique. Your MVP, your automations, your customer journeys, your workflows, everything. The value stands that AJ is a powerful second brain of a company. I did a whole video on explaining what AJ is, how it operates, how it functions, how it can be uniquely tailored to you. And then obviously the other thing is that I want to disclose here is the valuable of Swarm, which is the technology that we added and made public yesterday to our clients. And that's beautiful. So I'm going to share my screen and I say, let's test this out in real time. I'm not going to use dummy data. I don't think I should. So if you see anything, obviously finances can look good and bad if you just see a certain number, but if you don't understand the entire sequence thereof, I mean, I don't need to disclose anything with that. So I've got no afraid or no fear of saying this to you guys. You can hear I'm tired. I'm just so super excited. I feel that every single company that's not adopting these automations, these workflows, these type of things, tailored, of course, around your business, you're completely losing out on everything. So have a look at Swarm, the previous video. Have a look at AJ, a previous video. I'll share the links on top. But for now, let's have a look at this actual rendition and render of our financial system and see if it works. So I'm going to go ahead and say layout. So I'm going to do that. I always say that and I forget to edit that out inside everything. I want to see my entire screen. Let's start with that. Yeah, you can see my entire screen. So let's open up AJ, which runs as an HTML locally on our machines. And here you can see once again all the functionality. We've got our COO there. We've got various things. We've got our CFO, CTO, CMO, PA, AJ, and then obviously Swarm. But the one thing that I want to look at today is the following. So I said, I typed in here and I said, hey, AJ, take a look at the financial statements for all small caps. That's the business, one of our businesses. It's our AI, or not our AI studios, our marketing studios for podcasting and networking and things like that. And I said, please recon the statements into a spreadsheet, design forecast, included DCF models, and balance my expenses and income. Create a comprehensive financial sheet that shows me the current and projections for this company while doing a full recon on my books. Please also build a system checker inside that will check all formulations and data and warn me if anything is in an error. I'm going to go ahead and I pasted that prompt in there. So in the previous videos, it annoyed me, and I think it annoys you when I just go and type everything out and speak as I thought. So that literally, I just copied from my notepad. That's a prompt that I want and paste it in there. I'm just going to attach some files there. I have all my statements for this. I've got the all small caps June 2024 statements, the caps projections, the 2025-2026 statements, and then our ROI statements. That's all the applicable statements that I could quickly find for this. And that's the reference I'll give it. Obviously, if I give it more, then, well, we'll see what happens. I haven't tested this out yet. So let's actually see what happens. And that's what I put in. There you can see the uploaded the files, put that. And I want you to pay attention to the screen. I think the other two times, the models that I showcased, the examples that I showcased when it comes to the marketing, when it comes to, there's a couple of things. What did I showcase earlier on? An SEOX strategy to tell me the predictable outcome using Swarm. And then obviously I did one for, I think it was financial. I can't even remember. I did a couple of things here today. Apologies. There we go. But in any case, so I want you to pay attention to the screen so you can actually see how AJ would function, reason, the triggers it will pull, the connectors and data. So you can see all our connectors and data are here. We've got 47 tools connected. We've got 21 agents online currently, and then which one it pulls and how it reasons in real time. So let's go ahead and say, ask AJ. And you can immediately see here's the live reasoning stream, which is very fast. That's why it's token heavy. And amazing thing. So let's actually see this for the first time because I'm testing this out with you guys. So AJ is running and routing to n8n, Zapier, and Claude Code. It's using Google Drive. It's pulling the CFO, but it's also pulling up Swarm. Pulled open my Obsidian. It pulling open my e-financial models, my bank statements, my notebook LM. And we can actually see how many tools it used here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And it's running live on all those tools right now. And here is the highlights, the live reasoning. You saw that in real time as it's picking up. We've got AJ, which picked up the intent from the prompt, reconcile forecast value audit, routing to CFO Swarm, dispatching data accounting auditor, CFO, ingesting uploaded financial statements, 3 files passed, QuickBooks, trial balance. It's actually interesting. It says 3 files passed. I don't know, because I uploaded 4. If it looked at all 4 or just maybe saw a duplicate, I don't know. We'll see now what happens. Reconciling the 2025 actuals, revenue, bank statements, matching deposits, building 3 tab models, output statements. It built that model for me. Swarm did the forecasting, e-financial models, assembled the model for me, and then the auditor and balance sheet. Okay. So it's giving the live system data. It's telling me it's picking up. It's for all small caps. The currency is ZAR. And the projected 29 revenue is that amount with 6 warnings flagged. I'm excited to see what the warnings is. Let's view the results. Okay, so it's saying that it built 9 sheets for us. Periods 2025 to 29, net profit. Oh, that's the net profit value of, that's for year in 2029, 4.8. And the integrity is passed its tests. Let's actually open up the live model. I guess that's what we want to see. So Ricky, this is what you want to see. Okay. Let's see what AJ built here. Okay, so AJ built a disclaimer. Did the all small caps financial projection. It gave me an error tracker and says there's 62 errors on the file. I'll guess that's the next one we'll fix. We'll see if it pulls any errors through. I don't know. Let's go and have a look. And then let's have a look. It's just a disclaimer, blah, blah, blah. Instructions on how to use this model. See, this is very flippin' cool. Gave me all the instructions. Let's go to the system checker down below. Number of checks triggered, 0. All files seems to be okay. So I don't know what that 62 errors is. I'll figure it out later. I don't know. Testing this with the first time for you guys. Individual error checks alert. Okay, so let's go look at the setup. You see, it gave me a model where I can insert that, all small caps, ZAR, timeline start, everything. Gave me our products, research, discovery, beta launch, all the stages. And then it picked up all the cohorts or segmentations from my financial statements, which is pretty cool. Picked up expenses in marketing costs. Bank charges automatically assign tax where it's applicable and not where it's not applicable. Fixed assets, and picked up from our statements our borrowing facilities, which is an overdraft loan account, director's loan account, investor's loan account. Looks cool. Actuals. Now we're looking at a statement. Okay, this is cool. So, Ricky, yeah, here's your answer. This is how I prompted. That's the statements I gave it. And this is actually how it reconned everything for me. So now we can look at everything. So I've got the actuals on the annuals. I can obviously open up the statements to check now if it's fine. I'm trusting that it is, so I don't know. Haven't checked that yet, but it's a very comprehensive financial model. This is good quality. Gave me all the other expenses, totals, my EBITDA. That's cool. My depreciation and interest, amortization. Assets, gave me that assets. There's a lot of blanks there. It looks fine. Just obviously you would know in your own business. I'm just looking at this at a quick glance. So you might not be able to pick up errors in my business. I should be picking it up, but I'm doing this for the first time. Gave me my liabilities, settlement months. I think it pulled that up because remember when I looked at AJ, it said that it took my Obsidian. Now, what's interesting in my Obsidian is my due diligence lies there. All my contracts, my joint ventures, my company due diligence. So obviously it picked up that the settlement months on certain liabilities within the wording of documents. That's what I presume because that looks accurate and I presume that's exactly what it is. Equity, share capital, retained earnings, gave me that in ZARs, give me that amounts, balance sheet check, once again, check inside. These are just actuals. That's quite empty on a couple of things. I don't know why I didn't pull that data from or where that is, but just trust the system from now. Input assumptions. Here's a very cool input assumptions. Probability to move stages. That actually pulled from our marketing plan. This is insane. I mean, nowhere in our statements did we mention anything about the probability to move certain of our products into next stages and phases, but it is in our Obsidian Vault and it is live on our planning projections and our roadmap. So it either picked up our pitch deck or roadmap. I'll be interested to see where it got that data from because this is 100% accurate. And then it build a cumulative probability to stages, which is, oh my goodness, this is cool. What else did it do? Gave me a royalty rate as percentage of sales revenue. That's amazing because that's the royalties that we paid out or plan to pay out in some cases. Price per product, gave me that. Licensing fees received, and then the average credit terms offered. Once again, the credit terms is just only in our due diligence and in our legal structures, not in one of those statements, which is very, very cool that it picked that up. This is comprehensive. This is the future of business. Why on earth do we still need to go to auditors the whole time? This is insane. Sorry, I'm mind blown. So look at the calculations. Okay, it's a lot of empty data, but it looks like it's deliberately empty. Oh, it's formulations that it's designed inside, so it's there for a reason. I need to go inspect that later. I'm just going to show the gist of it, but my systems say okay. So far, AJ has not disappointed me. It's very accurate. Price per product. Let's just click on that and see once again. Oh, you see it's picking that up from the setup tab that it pulled through. So it didn't go and occupy every line, but it did occupy all the calculations and configurations. And the configurations checker says it's fine. So I'm trusting that it's fine. Let's look at a couple of statistics, or what's this? Financial stats. Oh, this is actually where the forecasts come in. Beautiful. This is our income statement, our licensing fee income, research expenses, business staff costs, marketing costs, other expenses. It shows our EBITDA, just amazing. Profit after tax, retained earnings. Ah, flip, man, this is exciting. Assets, liabilities. Oh, it shows a couple of warnings on our liabilities as well. Worth for me to go and check in. It's a lot of rates, but I guess that's what a liability is. Equity, it shows us equity valuation. Does it? I understand why that's a negative to our logic. Cash flows from operating activities. There's our running cash flow. Cash balance. Okay, let's go check at the discounted cash flow model. The actuals are, okay, you see the actuals are empty on the DCF, which makes sense to an extent because the actuals, when it comes to, remember the previous sheet that I showed you was empty. So obviously I think that will pull through from there, but let's look at the forecast. Brilliant. Our valuation looks, yeah, got our WACC, cost of debt after tax, which is low, cost of equity, which is slightly on the higher case, but everything did that. Our price per current EBITDA and our price forward per EBITDA, it's a times factor. Let's see if it picked up anything there. It didn't. And it even built us a dashboard. How cool is this? Man, oh man, there's our recon of our entire, this is actually only thing we wanted, but it gave us so much more. What are the product performances? Systems checker, and build us all of the various, oh my goodness, this is exciting. So Ricky, I hope that answers your question. That's literally how AJ does it. This is how it looks like. It created the sheet inside my Google Drive, so it's there ready for me to view. Let's go back to AJ. Okay, so we reviewed that open live model. Let's see if there's anything next to that. Next to that is forecasts and projections. Oh, it's just giving me a summary. Revenue compounds 27% per annum across the forecast, modeled after modeled cash builds from 2.4 to 14.2, with net profit reaching 4.8 by 2029. Let's go ahead and say next. Oh, here's the interesting part. Yeah. Oh, remember the DCF I told you? I saw that that's empty. The DCF engine, cash flow build, and discounting are all in place, but risk-free rate, ERR, beta tax, and terminal growth are 0. So that's why the WACC is at 0%. So no usable valuation yet, which is brilliant, which is amazing. I understand, because that data does not lie within our Obsidian Vault. It's a private contract, or a private file that it might actually be there. So it might just not pick it up from the statements that I gave it. So that's the other thing. I'm obviously going to play around with it at the back end, but it's great that it didn't assume anything, that it actually built me a very accurate thing, and it's telling me what it's missing based on either lack of data or anything. So I'm just going to ask AJ now, like, why is that not there? What is it referring to? And start investigating that. But this would have taken a CFO, I would have guessed, a week of full-time focus on reconning statements, building this, and building the report. Checks passing gave me that. And then obviously we can say CFO findings, and let's ask de-risk revenues. It's in one stream. Generate report for full CFO review. Okay, let's see what our CFO review says. Okay, so it even created me a report. All small cap CFO financial review, currencies that are periods, executive summary. We can read that together. All small caps is an asset, light digital royalty business, revenue from hosting, direct and indirect advertising and listings, modeling in ZAR over 5 years. The workbook is a well-structured, fast standard model, separate input calculations and output layers, plus built-in system check tab. Is internally accounting ties out the balance sheet checks and ISBS consistency checks and return 0 pass. And it gave me everything there. Okay, which is amazing. Let's go to the second line. Oh, brilliant. Gave me all the findings and warnings. Value error propagates to every tab. So there's a value error in certain ones it's pulling through. It's a medium risk, so I'll put that through. The high risk is obviously forecast operating costs are 0 from 2026. It's just because the statement was up until June 2026. It wasn't the entire year, and it's obviously working on year, so that makes sense to me now. If I change within the model, that the frequency should go to biannually, quarterly. That should fix itself. But yeah, that's just my logic from that. And then the statements, and then we can go look at the last one, DC evaluation, what's needed to make it like, you see. Remember I said I'll go and see what needs to be done? In my reporting, it tells me, look, this needs to be done. That's what needs to be done. Yeah, so Ricky, thank you for the question. I really do appreciate it. I think it's amazing. It's great for me to experience this type of setup, what AJ can do. And obviously we use it on a daily basis. So we see the potential, we've built the potential in, but just from other people's questions, sometimes you think to yourself, oh, maybe I didn't think about that in the design, but I trust the design process. So when we run it now, I'm just ecstatic and over the moon. So once again, yeah, just thank you for that. I really do appreciate it.